Hello, Galaxy. I'm Chris Pirillo, streaming once again in a scheduled stream. This time, the title is accurate. This is TLDR, the Lockergnome Daily Report. I say that because I just wrapped up another video in the Chris Pirillo YouTube channel, the classic YouTube channel, wherein I was talking specifically about not wanting to wake up this phone, but talking specifically about my one-day experience, a one-day review of the Pixel 2 XL. So I did a whole hour talking about my one-day experience already, and you can watch that. TLDR is for you. It's a Q&A with you and me. It's an AMA every day. You can do super chats, of course. It's a live video stream. You can join us in Discord chat if you're interested. You can join Discord by one of two ways. One, either become a sub of mine on Twitch, twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo, which, by the way, is where you can go after TLDR today to listen to and participate in the podcast, which we do every day. And then, of course, you can also become a member of the Discord chat that's open 24/7 for you to geek out in if you become a patron of mine at patreon.com/Chris Pirillo. Those two ways are super simple, super streamlined ways of getting into Discord chat. You know, I find it sometimes difficult to make the transition immediately from, a live video in Chris Pirillo's channel. Isn't it weird that I talk about myself in the third person? Right into TLDR because, one, I've been talking for a while, and two, everything that I've been dealing with, for the past day has been specifically wrapped up in the thing that I just talked extensively about. So if I missed any of your questions in chat, now would be the time to ask or re-ask. And let me make sure I'm good on the scroll. I'm good on the scroll. Stockbrokerton 420 breaks the ice with the first super chat of the evening in TLDR. Been watching for like 7 years or more since Ustream. Wow. That's nice. That's a long time. That's wonderful to have you around that long, too. Hey, Max 3099 is here. He says, I like some third-party launchers, but does the default launcher still run in the background? I don't think so. I think that's like your go-to. You set your default, and then that's it. So I'm still looking for a better write-up or an analysis of which one is the most, not just offers the most features, but the best in terms of performance. Lawn chair is one I think everyone should be keeping an eye on, for sure. Suze Polo asks, are you going to do a live stream from your chosen Pixel 2? Yes, I am. I think more than anything, I'm going to. I was supposed to talk to someone today, and then it didn't happen because we didn't make a calendar appointment. But I really want to set up and have a dedicated phone as that recorder. And I'd just be inclined to hold on to the Google Pixel 2 outright and not send it back if I could at all help it. But unfortunately, I can't afford all of them. But yeah, I definitely want to do a few live streams from these various devices, potentially from the Pixel 2 XL. I think that's what it's called. The hope is, I could figure out a way to make it not look horrible as it usually does on iOS. Maybe it works better on Android. I have not tried it. If I do anything, what I might do is, maybe I'll do a live video somehow about the Pixel 2 XL on YouTube Live if everything works well. Because the problem is not the hardware with live videos, it's the software. It doesn't work well, on iOS at least. When you set up a live stream and you're able to stream it, that all works fine. Chat works fine. Super chat works fine. But you can't set and lock exposure. Like I've set on this live video, I locked the exposure on the camera, so it's not like everything is not going crazy in terms of brightness and contrast and everything. It's locked in. You can't do that with the YouTube Live app on iOS. I haven't tried it on Android. You can't do that on Periscope on iOS. Haven't tried it on Android. You can't do that effectively with Facebook Live on iOS. You can tap in a certain area on Facebook and it basically adjusts from there. But if you move your hand in front of that area that you locked on, it blows out again. So none of the live streaming video apps are really written very well at all, in my humble opinion. Earl Green asks, how does Diana feel about potentially switching from her iPhone to a Pixel 2? Well, I showed her the selfie cam, and she's like, I said, look, and it even has this feature where it'll make your face look better. And I didn't say it that way. The smoothing, it has the face smoothing feature, you know, so everything looks cleaner, and you don't have to do makeup as much. You know, if you wanted to take a selfie, so it's got that face enhancing mode or whatever the hell it is. That was compelling for her. I did one shot last night. I didn't talk about this. I haven't done set the stage for comparison videos, but I was in bed getting things set up, and I was like, you know, I wonder how well this handles in low light. So I took a picture on the Pixel 2 XL of the bedroom in my view, the bedroom, like click, and then I picked up my iPhone 8 Plus. I'm like, all right, we'll see. This iPhone 8 Plus does a pretty good job. Click. The iPhone 8 Plus picture was horrible by comparison. Like, it was just muddy. The details were lost. It was not good. Like, things got blown out. It was not a good photo. HDR and everything. It was not a good photo. The Pixel 2 XL, in very low light conditions, handled itself admirably compared to the iPhone 8 Plus. It was outstanding. I know I've got a lot of questions here in regular chat, but I got to go to super chatters and my subs and patrons first. Bondi7 asks, do you think that what's been happening with iOS's software quality will ever affect macOS? So here's an kind of anecdotal experience. I've been using this computer mostly today, the Pixel 2 XL, and I've been fine with using this outright. And I scroll and everything. You get used to a certain type of scrolling and everything's smooth. And then I jumped up to the desktop and I saw so many frame drops on macOS. I'm like, I can't handle this. So I'm going to go as far as to say it does kind of affect macOS, just in a different way. Apple doesn't have its eye on the ball in terms of software performance. And that it feels true. On a relatively new iMac, I have problems. I mean, what's going on with that? So yeah, Mac OS is not broken, but it could be a hell of a lot better. I mean, they took a step forward by bringing Metal 2 to the Windows server, basically helping certain elements display better and take less CPU cycles. They need to go further with that. Fantastically further. They need to improve every aspect and angle of the software performance on macOS. They absolutely need to. macOS is still less painful than Windows. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. That's my feelings. Everyone's gonna have different feelings. I don't want to necessarily get into a war with that. The James 1576 says 2 drinks every time Chris says Discord chat. I needed that break. Thank you very much. Jameson2 says, how's the Google Lens? Have you played around with it? Okay, let's play around with it here. I've got a picture of Yoda on the mug. And I'm going to... Google Lens will improve as it exits out of beta. Currently, what you have to do is launch the camera, take a picture of the mug or whatever, and then open the picture. And then you'll see this little icon here. And you press the icon, and it will tell you what you just took a picture of, theoretically. I don't know if it's going to get it. Oh, whoa, holy cow, dude. It got it. Oh, I'm sorry, that's too bright. Let me dim it a bit. Can you see it now? It got the mug. It figured out the mug. It'll take you to it'll take you to the Google search for that mug. Okay, I was not expecting that to work. Wow. Okay, that was insanely impressive. I'm not sure how I feel about the color and certain other things on the photo. It seems to be a little bending. I was really close to the desk, and there seems to be a bend in the background there with the line. Let me turn up the brightness a bit more. Go back up. Don't want to go through all my notifications right now. It seems to be the picture, and it could be the screen. Do I have night mode on because it's getting night light? No, I don't have night light on. I have contrast up, but let's see if I can take a picture. I can't tell if it's the screen that's throwing it off or it was the photo in terms of color. So I'll just take another photo here. Has a problem getting I have the same, even more so on the iPhone. The iPhone is definitely more saturated. The colors are better in this scenario with the Pixel 2 XL compared to the iPhone. It's going to be impossible for me to show you up close because I've only got one. You may be able to see it at a distance, but this is not the best way to do photo comparisons. But they both seem to have had the same kind of effect. The iPhone blew out more background details, a little more saturation in the on the iPhone than needed to be. I would say that the Pixel is definitely more with the screen, in terms of its color and temperature, seems to be a lot more accurate of a photo, for sure. Huh? Okay, cool. Thank you for telling me to try that. That was really neat. It's pretty much a rebranded version of Google Goggles. Yeah, I remember Google Goggles. It's pretty cool. But I'm looking forward to that feature outright. They'll be bringing it to the Google Widget, which is currently in beta. I don't know if that's going to be coming out soon. I'm looking forward to it, if only because you can tweak, the shape and color of the Google search box, which I would be inclined to do. I'm, like I said, leaning towards a third-party launcher now. I just don't know what that third-party launcher is necessarily going to be, and for what reason. It's all about execution and performance for sure. iMessage is the only reason I still use the iPhone. Is the iPhone 10 inferior in your mind to the XL? I might switch. Is the iPhone 10 inferior? Man, well, let me put it this way. I don't think iOS is going to perform any better or look any better or work any better on an iPhone 10 compared to an iPhone 8 Plus. That's my feeling. It's just going to be radically different. And then you got to deal with the notch. Then people now, it's been suggested that supply is going to be even lower than an already low supply to begin with, too. I mean, maybe you want to wait for the iPhone 10, man. That's fine. Knock yourself out. I guess as much as I really do like what Apple does with iMessage in general, and I certainly appreciate its convenience and how I've used it, it's not something that is enough to keep me on board. And I'll figure out how to deal with these other issues, as I run into them. But messaging is insanely more straightforward, I think, specifically with integration with notifications on Android than it is on iOS. And that's, to me, that's everything. It's just quicker, it's cleaner, it's simple, straightforward, compact. And Apple's it's a lot of wasted time and a lot of wasted space. That's my feelings. Remco Andrisi asks, which device do you use to record the podcast? It depends. Today's podcast, I might end up recording on the Pixel 2 XL, although I don't have an audio recorder on here. I'd have to find an audio recorder, a good one. Google doesn't have an audio recorder, does it? It doesn't have any recorder. That's kind of odd. It doesn't even have voice memos. Well, wait, it has Keep. Does Keep do... Well, it doesn't have audio, but can you download that audio? Let's see here. Can I download this audio when I'm done? Oh, no, it's just dictating. Well, what am I doing right now? I said something. It's stuck. Huh. Take a note. But nothing saved. Is that buggy? I am saying something right now. Oh yeah, I just transcribed it. I am saying something right now. And it's not a high quality audio. Delete. Back. Delete. I like Keep a lot more than I like iOS Notes. Kieran Charrington says iOS 11.1 Beta 4 is probably the final release, by the way. Oh, okay. I've been so busy today, I haven't downloaded Beta 4 yet. I'll do that soon. I'll do that this evening. I'm not in any rush to do it outright. Parrot is a good audio recorder. Parrot? I grabbed one that has like all sorts of wacky features on the really nice features actually on the on my Nexus 6P that I really liked. Let's see here. Where is it? The problem when you deal with a lot of devices, you can't remember where you put this icon, that icon, and the other icon. I think it was over here. Was that there? Maybe, kind of. Yeah, the one thing that I think would improve Android jank and responsiveness is just a faster processor and more RAM. So it'll continue to get better. That's for sure. I'm happy to know that. Let's see here. What is it called? It's in beta right now. Wave Studio. Oh, Launcher just got an update too. Cool. Download pending. Okay, cool. That just happened today. Wow. They're just chugging along with that. That is amazing. So I'll download the Wave Studio. I'll try it in that, and hopefully nothing bad happens. I'll record in 2 devices just in case as a backup. SkyCop70 here in Discord says, do you use a glass screen cover at all, and do you recommend a brand? I don't. I need to get one for the Pixel 2 XL. I don't have a brand recommendation right now, though. If anybody else has a brand recommendation, I am all ears, because I'm going to need one. I'm getting my case from Moment soon, or soon-ish. I haven't... This is another one of those apps that I like on iOS that doesn't have an equivalent. It's called Deliveries. And with Deliveries, you get a nice, clean way of seeing, like where all your deliveries are. Except for the Moment delivery hasn't updated yet, so I guess I don't know when they're going to be delivered. Oh well. Dubs Wildlife says, "Are you returning your iPhone 8 Plus or selling it?" I don't think it's time anymore to return it. I couldn't return it. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that yet. I'm not sure. I just hesitate to lose all iOS experience. And just feel like we're better off crowdfunding these things moving forward if I can't find a sponsor for the devices, than just choosing one or the other. It wouldn't be a daily driver. I'm leaning away from the iPhone as a daily driver. People still can't believe that. Tony Yoon in Discord asks, will you ever do a CP video side by side comparison with the 8 Plus video versus the 2XL? Like a video? I guess I could. I don't know. I'm not really big into the video comparisons outright. I didn't even really like doing the photo comparisons. That was really tedious to actually set up. And I found a great app on the iPad, but if I'm moving to the Pixelbook, I wouldn't have access to that software again, and I don't know how the hell I'd pull it off. So I don't know how it's going to work. Front Page Tech, John Prosser comes in with another amazing super chat. See, Apple's getting sued for stealing Animoji. Well, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's a little on the nose. They're being sued by a company that I guess no longer exists. So it's not that they're getting sued for what it is. They're just getting sued for the name. So they'll change what the name is. People will move on. I think it's a tempest in a teapot. Byron Extreme says, IntelliGlass lasted a long time on my Nexus 6P glass screen protector. I keep waiting for emails from companies saying, hey, we've got this glass thing. I'm like, I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard squat. I've been hoping to hear squat from companies, but haven't heard anybody out there. I'm looking at YouTube chat, but see this one in Discord. Ricky Griffith says, hey Chris, I can't work out what browser to use. Firefox Quantum loads pages faster, but tests show that other things like HTML5 work better in Chrome. It's up to you, dude. I don't care. It comes down to what you feel, what you like most, what you need. I ended up settling on Brave on Chrome, Brave on Android. I prefer to use Brave on iOS as well because they have a feature called HTTPS Anywhere. And let me show you Brave. But they also have Brave's this nice little line. If I go to the new tab, let me go to new tab. There we go. So they show you, I'm not going to show you up close, but it says 312 trackers blocked, 133 ads blocked, 596 HTTPS upgrades, and 22 seconds time saved. So I got HTTPS upgrades, which means I had a more secure transmission using HTTPS anywhere or everywhere using Brave versus Chrome. So Brave is pretty much my default browser. I'll update Chrome and I'll have Chrome specifically on the phone. I'm not going to get rid of it. I mean, it's certainly there if I need to get something from the desktop to the mobile experience outright. But I'm just not as inclined to use it as much, and eventually will find my way through the experience in terms of which one I go to. Because the problem when you use a different browser on the phone versus the desktop is things get out of sync. I'm not worried about bookmarks. I'm not worried about managing other things. Just in terms of the general experience. And there's no perfect solution. It just depends on what it is that you want, what it is that you use. what it is that you need and the features that are provided. I've done my own research and have come to the conclusion that, at least as far as Android goes, Brave may be the best bet for me. It scrolls a little better because it doesn't load as many resources. It even scrolls better on the macOS desktop, but the problem with the Brave on the desktop is I don't like the interface outright compared to Safari, and so I haven't made the switch away from Safari to Brave on the desktop, despite those values. If anything, I'd be inclined to use Chrome again on the desktop, but again, there are always going to be trade-offs. Always. There's no perfect solution. You can't live without trade-offs, and it sucks. I hate living like that. I really do. I'd rather have something that just works well and then builds from there, and I just don't feel that way with browsers right now. Sloth Jess asks, do you have an opinion on Samsung phones? I don't. They're fine. I mean, they work. A lot of people like them. They're getting better. Speeding Cheetah says Brave will be supporting mobile sync to the desktop Brave eventually. Yeah, they are working on it. I'm not sure where they are, though, with a few of their design decisions for a few different reasons. Not just on iOS either. On iOS, I'm pretty well taken care of with content blockers for the most part. But if iOS allowed me to use a third-party web browser as a default web browser, I would probably be using Brave before Chrome. Given that I'm using Brave over Chrome on Android now is like the default. Everything. I don't want to default open a new link in Chrome. The problem is then when you use third-party apps, then unless you're going through a VPN that manages that stuff, you're going to load trackers. And I try to avoid that as much as possible. But I appreciate getting certain information in certain ways. I like Google's a couple of Google's apps. I like the layout of the apps because sometimes I miss this information that I wouldn't have seen otherwise. They've got one that hasn't been updated in forever, News and Weather. It's a very old school. In fact, I'm surprised this hasn't been retired. But I mean, it's a nice way of kind of getting the zeitgeist of what's going on. But like when I click in here, let's see here, where can I go? What was that? Oh, the bar at the bottom. Twitch unveils a suite of new tools to help creators grow their channels and make money. Hey, that's cool. Let's load that. So it loads it, but it loads it in Brave. So I was able to load that page in the Brave browser, even within the embedded experience of this app, which is very, very useful. If I go into the News app, or their Play Newsstand, Google Play Newsstand, which I like as well for different reasons. I like the fact that the weather widget up top looks fantastic. It greets me. Still got some performance issues, of course, but you can scroll down, you can see all your feed, library, and you can subscribe to different topics. So I can jump to Star Wars as a topic, which is really, really nice. Load my Star Wars videos. I still haven't gotten that book yet. Cannot connect the newsstand. What? Why are you making a liar out of me, man? By the way, I'm at 19%. All right, let's try a different topic then. Wonder if we can load this one. I don't know. Is it that? Oh, here, hang on. I'm streaming in the background. I should not be doing that. Let's see. So in here, if I go to that, it loads it in the default web viewer here, and I don't like that as much. So if I go to settings, let's see here. I'll check out. Oh, so let's see mini. Let's try mini cards. Article text size normal. Autoplay videos enabled. Open web pages in newsstand. There we go. So I can just toggle that off. Easy to do. Notifications. So I can get top stories and topics, deals and offers. I can toggle that on. Daily briefing potentially. Download for you. Nah, I don't want to do that. Download while charging only. Auto download magazines. Yeah. So I mean, it's tweakable. It's nice. It'll work. I have no problems with this stuff. See, but I just opened that. I just opened this in the browser, and there's in the built-in system viewer, and there is an ad right there, which is something that I could have avoided if it. Brave needs storage access to download files. Oh, I see. It's a PDF. I don't need to worry about a PDF. Let's just open that link. Oh, so it kept me within there. All right, so it redirected me. I blocked the tracker though. If I open the settings panel, or if I open the Lion panel, it says 6 ads and trackers blocked on this website. So it's a cleaner experience, a generally cleaner scroll. Nikolay Lukinov. Sorry, I'm just talking through things. I'm not going to show you the phone up close. I'm talking through what it is that I'm doing. Nikolay Lukinov says, I like your channel greetings. Thank you. And just so you know, it is Star Wars, not to be confused with the Samsung Galaxy outright. That's a big, big deal. Runrig Fans asks, does plastic have any benefits to phone? Many phones use glass. I'm a software guy that needs great hardware. As Pixel use plastic, does it make a difference in build quality as glass or plastic? Well, there's a less likelihood that it's going to break or shatter if it's plastic, but there's a greater likelihood that it's going to scratch. So, just unfortunately, there's no good answer to this. Pixel does use metal with a plastic coating, but the plastic's going to scratch potentially. I haven't scratched mine yet. I'm careful with it. The thing is that I'm getting tons of fingerprints on the glass. I'm going to get that moment case. Hopefully that moment case is going to work out well. And then I'm also looking to try to find a glass screen protector. If you know of a good company and you know them on Twitter, just tag me to them on Twitter. That'd be great. Christopher Clark asks, Chris, what's your favorite 90s TV series? 90s. I don't know if I have. I don't know. I have to think about that. Give me some options. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Liz answered the question. Frasier, of course, that was 90s. Duh. Shady Tavern asks, Chris, can you use Dashlane extension in Brave browser? I don't know. They have a few extensions that you can enable, like ad hoc, but I don't enable any extensions on the Brave browser. Give me a second. Oh, that's that. Hang on, I want to see the lawn chair launcher got an update. I don't know what got fixed outright, but yeah, see that widget still doesn't work. But the nice thing is that it is very, very, very configurable lawn chair. It's got a lot of options that you otherwise would not get. No change log. Come on, what's up? There's no change log. I get a change log here. So it says a lot of internal changes and bug fixes. Fix setting divider on light theme. Fix lawn feed when rotating launcher. Categorize settings menu. Make sure to install the latest version of lawn feed to have orientation fixed, I guess. So that's from that was updated yesterday. It was updated last night. But yeah, lawn feed is like lawn chair. Sorry, lawn chair is the thing that I want. Lawn feed is not available, unfortunately, on without basically sideloading an APK. Yeah, no, I watch Frasier a lot. Frasier's it for me. I'm not like what's his name? Geekdom 101, Dragon Ball. I haven't watched Dragon Ball. Sloth Jezz asks, did you watch Star Wars: The Clone Wars TV series? I did. It's been a few years. I enjoy watching the Clone Wars a great deal. And that's something that I would watch a Clone Wars episode again, without even hesitating. It's always good. Fernando Fernandez asks, what do you like better so far? Pixel 2, Essential Phone, or LG? Absolutely the Pixel 2. Because it's not about the hardware for me. I think I like how the Essential Phone feels. I like how the Pixel Phone runs. I like the general resolution of the Pixel Phone. I like the LG V30's, not the headphone jack. What am I thinking of? Certainly higher quality audio capabilities is very helpful. But I mean, there's a lot to like in all of them. I mean, I can't just. I wish I could have the best of all worlds, but it never works out that way. I've never had a phone that I thought this is perfect. It can never be improved. Just stop right now because I'm happy. Roberto Blake says, and hey Roberto, see you soon. Says I ordered the Pixel 2 XL and apparently got a coupon for a free Google Home Mini. You did? I'm waiting for mine. You got your coupon? They haven't sent me mine. What? How? I haven't gotten one. Now I'm kind of sad. If you did you get one? Or I'm still waiting. I was told that it would come like soon. See, within a month. Okay, see, that's what Tidbit says. Give it a few days. No, get it within a month of getting the phone. Well, I got the phone. Where the hell's my coupon? Now I'm getting angry. Ah! Nah. See, the coupon can take up to 4 weeks. How did he get his? I know why. Because he's more awesome than me. I did see something else. Wide lens camera. Yeah, that is a benefit on the LG V30, but I'll be getting the wide lens camera adapter for Moment. So I'll have everything I need, at least with Moment, when I need that extra, aspect and the extra angle. I'm excited to try them. I genuinely am. Christopher Clark says, Chris, can us fans send you new tech to be reviewed? If so, what's the best way to organize? I only take things new in the box, not used. So I know you said new tech, and I don't necessarily take all things, because I don't want all things. I don't want to be, like, stapled to something. Unfortunately, most of the things I may be interested in cost hundreds, if not, $1,000+. So it's not quite practical. The cheaper stuff, not so much interested in. And I could not ask anybody to send me anything outright. Usually if I've identified something, like I'd be interested in using that, or I'd be interested in looking at it, I would be talking about it. And maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. But generally speaking, there's no really good way of doing it. Sending it from Amazon ultimately is probably the best way to do it. Because that way it's coming from a trusted provider versus, I don't know who sent this to me. I don't know what they did to it. That's just dangerous all around. The only time I'll do that is if you're talking like Star Wars figures or Lego. Liz, I do not want the iPhone 10. Max 3099 asks, Google Mini or Alexa, which do you prefer? I have no preference because I've used neither of them. I am inclined to lean more towards the Google Mini, not just for its speaker quality, but for its integration in the Google ecosystem. So if I'm carrying around this phone, this Google phone, driven by the Google Assistant and Google software, this Google Pixel, I believe to have the best experience, I need to be flanked with other Google products. I can't replace my desktop outright. It's nowhere near being able to do. I can replace my iPad with the Pixelbook. But Alexa, I have very little interest in at all outright. Never even from the beginning. I'm like, I don't know. See, Home and Pixel make great companions. This is what I'm saying. That's how I feel. It's a big deal for me, having that integration. And that's possibly in moving or migrating this experience that I've had for living in iOS and Apple for as long as I have to Android. Like I said, I have to find different things. So I found it's called Aftership. This is free. You can add a new shipment from a tracking number, from a courier, the courier tracking number and a title, and then it'll synchronize. It's called After. Let's see here. See if I can launch a website. About us. There we go. Aftership. It's called Aftership. So what you do at aftership.com, it's free. And effectively, oh, hang on. I thought the app would tell, maybe not. I figured the app would say where you could get the software. But Aftership, I guess I'll look it up on Google Play then. Let's see here. Aftership. Hugely popular download. Over 1 million downloads. Aftership. And it says tracking. New design, no ads. Best Android package tracker. Supporting tons of couriers. And I believe it's cross-platform too. I wanted to say when I was looking at the website, it does iOS. There's a version on iOS. Haven't tried it on iOS. I'd assume the desktop as well. But you can track, and it's free, no ads. Check when the package is arriving, log in and synchronize, and be notified, auto detect, auto copy and paste. So it looks like it'll work well for me, potentially, because I use a desktop app on the Mac, and I'm like, well, I don't have all that information on my phone now, so I have to find something else that will do the cross compatibility thing. That's a bigger challenge for developers. Like if people are switching, they may abandon your app if you don't support it cross-platform. That's a big deal, and I tell you, it's been a big deal for me. Deliveries for the win. I use Delivery. That's the one I use on Mac OS. I like it, and on iOS, but they don't have Android. At least when I looked, I'm like, I don't see any Android. I use it It's my favorite one. It's the cleanest. I don't know about Android deliveries because all the other deliveries apps that I saw on Android, I'm like, I wouldn't say this one's even perfect, but I like the price. They have it now. Oh, they do have it for Android? How did I not see this? How did you see something I did not see? Okay, now I'm going to search for it because I have it. Deliveries app. Because that's what they call it, deliveries app. No, that doesn't look like it. I'm looking at the icons, and none of these icons look like the icon I'm looking for. I ain't seeing it, yo. Because I can tell you, that's definitely not it. It would have the same icon, would it not? It should have. No, that's not it. That's definitely not it. You guys may be thinking of a different delivery. See, that's another thing. You may be looking for the same name on the new platform and something completely different. You gotta watch out. That goes with iOS and Android. Both. Max 3099 says, can't get into Discord chat. Why not? You should be able to. I think you're an active patron. You're an active patron or an active sub on Twitch. Both ways you should be able to get in. We can figure out how to get you in, Max. That shouldn't be a problem. Max 3099. Kieran Charrington asks, I know you have problems with iOS. Do you ever think the same about macOS now? To be honest, I've only just joined the Mac experience. macOS needs to be improved dramatically. There's no desktop equivalent, though. I couldn't switch away from it outright. I also don't think I could use a Chromebook outright, a Pixelbook outright as a mobile driver. It's getting there. Like, I don't think I could stream this live video into the Pixelbook. I'm using a MacBook to handle it with the software. But it just depends. If you get shipment notices in your Gmail, Google Assistant will get tracking numbers and track all your packages. That's true. Sometimes I don't get email notices, though. Chris, use Linux. I am. It's called Android. That's the best Linux you can get. Yeah, it's deliveries package tracker versus just deliveries. Okay, fine. Give me a second. Deliveries package tracker. Dang, dude. Let me launch Play Store. Deliveries. Cheese and crackers. Deliveries package tracker. No, that's not it. That is, there's no way this is the same company. There's zero chance this is the same company. They made an equivalent, but this is not it. Mark my words, dude. I know my apps. This is not it. Not even close. Good try, though. Gamer Addicted asks, or Gamer Addicted. No, Chris, it's not the same thing. I was trying to inform him. Oh, okay. Got it. It takes a lot to pull one over on me. Some people have, but doesn't happen all that often. Remco Andrisi asks, Andres asks, Chris, would you recommend Chinese cheap Qi charger for the iPhone 8? No. Cheap technology? No. The answer is no. No. Stay away. Stop. Don't waste your money. Spend money on a good product. Mauricio Najera says, I have a Huawei P10, but I don't know if I will notice difference if I change to a Pixel 2. Couldn't tell you. All I can say is that if you're not into software, I don't think the Pixel's going to impress you. I'll be honest with you. That to me it's a summation of my feeling, and the Pixel and the hardware's, I think it's fine, and the software's definitely getting there, and I appreciate it, but it's still not quite where I think it needs to be in terms of hardware. I mean, the screen, a lot of people have slagged it. The plastic coating, some people have slagged it. The general feel, some people have slagged it. You know, the resolution, some people have slagged it. You know, it's going to get slagged left and right. But, to me, they better, I swear to God, they better keep these two front-facing speakers, because I don't want to see this bezel-less thing happen. I really don't. That would make me so sad. My only hope for a good experience has been the Pixel with software. That's been my only hope. I think it would be very difficult for me to turn back to iOS in its current trajectory if I got used to Android. I'll be honest with you. Some people have done that, but there's so much that Android does that, like, okay, let me put it this way. So if I pull down Notification Center, everything's like organized by app. It's pretty clean. And then I'm looking at this Notification Center, like, these are the things from earlier today. Like, it's just a mess. It goes on and on and on, and you can't, it's a lot of waste. So, like, for example, so here it says this guy left a post. So I can either view the post, I can quick reply, or I can like it. I don't know what it is. Why would I like the post? Versus here, if I go into Instagram, I can see the picture. No, I can just swipe it away. Okay, that's good. Scroll down a little further, and everything is good. Okay, that's good. Seeing that. There's a whole conversation that happened. So instead of getting there was a conversation that took place between my mom and Diana. And so in there, I see, in this one notification, I see everything I need to see in that conversation. So I could open it, of course, to see the full context. But instead of getting 3 notifications, I get it in one. Okay, that's cool. So I got an inbox notification there. I got a Discord notification there, Discord notification. Some email notifications. I can cascade them out, right, easily. Or, of course, shrink them up again. I got some YouTube notifications saying that I'm streaming live. That's great. Pausing that. We have... Yeah, so, I mean, it's just I'm able to get through all the notifications I may want to get through with relative ease. So I see everything that I need to see from there. So that's good. And now I have emails that I can say, oh, my Entertainment Earth order has shipped. Okay, that's good. Dad sent me a message, so I can effectively decide to archive that. Don't need to see it. Don't need to see that, so archive. See how I'm just managing everything here from Notification Center? I don't need to worry about it. I can't get everything I need to get here, but I'm getting a lot of the things that I need to get. I don't like the archive option that I'm using in general, but let's see here. Twitch notification says that someone just signed up. Oh, this is cool. I see the Patreon notification that Byron Espinoza just pledged. Thank you. Archive that. Now I'm just getting through all my email here. It's just it works effectively. It works cleanly. I don't have to worry about anything, and it's clean. It's easy. It's effective. New music from Bare Naked Ladies. Cool. Didn't know that. Nice little email notification. And then I can move on with life. If I needed to see more, of course, I can tap and click through and then boom, it's loaded. That's it. It would have taken so much longer on iOS. It usually has. So it looks like I'm getting my Black Series Jaina Solo 6-inch, Black Series Rose 6-inch, and the Snoke 6-inch figure. 2 of them. So I'm getting my Black Series figures. Looks like they're shipping. And then the Black Maz Kanata figure, Black Series Maz Kanata figure. See how easy that is? It's just cleaner. It's easy. It's more effective. Jabba's Dungeon just shared a post. Now I can see it right there on the desk, right there. I'm like, oh, I don't need to see it. Good. I'm good to go. Versus right over here, it just came in the same phone. Okay, no, hang on. I can't see it. You see? I mean, that's just one example. I know it's a third-party thing, but it's just Android is so much better for your productivity. I'm finding it to be fantastically more amazing for your productivity. How do you get free gift cards? Liz, I'm glad you asked. Go.tagjag.com/freepoints. Available on iOS and Android. Easy to use. It's how I earn them. I don't know if they're bringing any Google Play cards back. I think they used to have like gift cards for Google Play. I need to ask them about that. Because that's something that I was looking for. Specifically because I was looking to get a few things upgraded on Android. I do plan on, I think, buying into the Weather Underground subscription because I like its weather widget on the Nexus 6P. Like I said, I really do, and you're not gonna believe this, but I wish the Nexus 6P was the Pixel 2 XL. I like the screen. I like the size. I like the general layout of everything. It's a great phone. I like the Nexus 6P a lot. It's just not fast. So I wish I had updated internals on the Nexus 6P. I wish this was the Pixel 2 because I'd be in hog heaven. This is just it's amazing. I mean, it's responsive enough, but I mean, it's not like amazeballs perfect. But anyway. That would make me happy. Maybe not everybody was happy with theirs, but that would have been the end all be all for me. but alas, this is what we're dealing with, and it works, and it's fine-ish. Okay, let me clear away that message. Can't have it all. You're never gonna have it all. I got a lot more tweaking to do. That is for sure. In terms of getting things set up, that's what's taking so long for me to get through. On top of just, doing regular things, beyond the things that I might normally do for everybody out there, things at home. That's how you wonder how my desk gets so messy or how I can't catch up with everything else. This is why. And switching phones, doing it outright it's not a simple task. The nice thing is, after I get my Pixel 2 XL set up, that's what I want to do. I want to get my Pixel 2 XL set up and working the way I want it, looking at everything, back it up, of course, and then restore it on the Pixel 2. So I don't have to worry about like tweaking anything and everything. That may be how I do it. May be how I do it. Haven't decided yet if that's how I'm going to do it. But, it can make things a lot easier. AJ Singh in YouTube chat says, would you honestly recommend switching to the Pixel 2 after being in the Apple ecosystem for a while? I've been in the Apple ecosystem for better part of 10 years. And I'm doing it. I'm not saying that anybody can do it. But there are many valid reasons to do it. And unfortunately, any reasons to stay are dwindling for me by the day. There are very few reasons I would stick with an iPhone. Very few. It used to be, because of the camera. Well, now I have a better camera on the Pixel 2, I believe. And now can get, certain features that I might be able to get on the iPhone with adapters and lenses with the Pixel. So it's, there's always going to be, a trade-off. I keep going back to this. So you got to take a look at what it is you do, what it is you use, what it is you want, what it is you need, what's practical for you. And then you have to make a best decision that fits what it is that you do. I do not have an answer to that question for you. I don't. No one does. It's just, that's up to you. Hang on, I got another Instagram post. Double tap. Sometimes I double tap and it doesn't work very well. And then if you long press, you can tweak notifications. Can I cascade out? Nope. I already have that figure. I'm good to go. Elizabeth Bradshaw says, notes for Pixel 2 XL review, initial impressions when you get a chance. Oh, okay. See, I get in notifications. I can see it in both places, of course. I get on iOS. I don't get her avatar, but here, let me show you. This is a good example. On the Pixel 2 XL, I can like or reply, and I can also see her avatar. So I say, I'll do this. I say okay, and then send it right from there. No muss, no fuss. But on iOS, if I long press, I can reply and say yes, and I did not see her avatar, and then send, and then it's gone, and then I get a ton of pumpkins. I get 3 notifications for pumpkins. I get 3 notifications for pumpkins in just one notification. So you see how that works? It's just cleaner. It's faster. It's more effective. It's more efficient. Nikoi1 channel says, Chris, you can get full dark mode with substratum theme even in apps like the Play Store and even YouTube. Look into it. You might love it. Yeah, I've seen it, and I know you don't have to root and everything, but I'm fine. I don't want to mess with it. It looks terribly complicated. Mauricio Najera says, thank you for sharing your thoughts. You made more clear to me about the Pixel 2. I'm in love with Android, and I'm seriously looking for a pure experience. Honestly, I think that it's going to be one of your better bets for software. But that's how I look at things. I look at everything through a software lens, not a hardware lens. Hang on, I got another Instagram notification, so I can actually see what it is. What is that? Oh, I don't care about that. Look at that. I can see the photo. It's just visual right there, and I can just decide what I'm doing with it. It's a great way of like taking care of everything. So sometimes it boils down to the platform enabling it, and sometimes it boils down to the developer enabling it. And sometimes they're unfortunately not in lockstep. When it comes to that stuff, it's not as straightforward as I think it could and or should be. And that's the thing that has my attention turned to Android. And I know I sound so incredibly repetitive, but it's just, as I see these questions and these concerns, I feel like I have to repeat myself. Michael says, I think you should look up what all Google Assistant can really do and how to ask for them. It will open up a lot of things for you. Yeah, I'll get there, stepping stones, and once I learn, my way through it, they have a feature where you can get emailed, suggestions, which is neat. There have been very few times that I'm like, oh, that didn't work. But for the most part, I like, if I need to use Siri, I can. I just usually don't because it annoys me. But generally speaking, you can find my way through it without too many problems. It'll happen over time. I'm not going to take a crash course in what it might be able to do. Oh, there, see? Max 3099 showed up. Told you we'd figure out how to get you in here. It's pretty easy. Nikoi1 channel says, not much bother to me, to be honest. I'm like, I can still see everything even with the burn-in. I'm like, it's whatever. Oh, you've got a burn-in? That's apparently an issue with OLED screens. Here's the thing. If I'm getting a burn-in like a year down the line, I'm sure I'm going to have problems a year down the line. It's not going to be awesome. Though people have said with the Pixel 1 experience that a year in using it, it's still just as snappy as it was day one. That's not always been the case with other Android experiences. There's slowdown issues. There's potential battery issues. Google will address and can address them. But the Pixel 1, the first gen Pixels, apparently have done very well in terms of maintaining their performance even after a year. So, in a year, I will be looking with great interest to what Google's doing with the next gen of Pixels. And honestly, I really like, and I liked it with the 6P. I like it even with the big chin and forehead, and I really like, I like the dual front-facing speakers. These to me, I'm not gonna say are critical. I really enjoy them. I'm now used to them. I need them. I want them. I need them. Jose Germosian asks, why do you think that the OnePlus devices are more fast or optimized than the Pixels? I don't know if they're more faster or optimized than the Pixels. I think they can keep up. I mean, they're using a modified platform. They're of course throwing more hardware at it, which is naturally going to help. Everything down the line. I know that just like with any of these mobile experiences, the more RAM you get, the better off you are. That I think lends itself to a lot better performance. Not that to say that 4 gigs is horrible. It's standard now. But anything above and beyond that is just going to be gravy. Wick Bob says, use dark mode. It will prevent burn-in. I have the dark menu enabled at this point. I have a dark wallpaper. I do. I use my phone certainly. But hopefully they're doing something that's going to be useful with that mode, specifically in the always-on display. And I say that because you may not be able to perceive it, but apparently to prevent burn-in on the always-on display, this clock, this feature here, it's constantly moving. It's moving back and forth. You can barely perceive it, but it's moving to keep burn-in from happening, specifically in that same position. But see, this is an issue that I found too. Like, depending on if I use that phone and I pick it up, it goes dimmer than the brighter screen, even though this doesn't go as bright. See, then I hold it up and then it goes dimmer. I think it's because I held it up in front of the light. And then as I set it down, it's brighter. And then I pick it up and I think that it picks up the light there and then it'll dim. So I got a notification saying Chris Pirillo just uploaded a video. It's now 6 o'clock. Cool. So I got about 5 more minutes, correct? Let's see here. Delete. That must be the video in the other channel. Don't need to see that. Let me check the time here. Yeah, about 5 minutes left in the broadcast. So we're going to wrap up here and then, of course, move on to the live podcast recording on twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo. You can head over there and participate in that. I'm glad I started at 5 o'clock tonight. It worked out very well. 6 o'clock is usually a good time to start TLDR just because when people are getting home and set up and everything. But it gets to be a very long day, especially when you are working intensely on getting something to work. So any final questions here? I don't know if we have any. I've seen some pretty routine ones like Issaquah or Lalu on YouTube chat says, all in all, V30 or Pixel 2 XL? Pixel 2 XL, software, man. It's all about the software. I'm good. Element 7 says they aren't more optimized, specifically the OnePlus. He said they use their own variation of Android called Oxygen OS, so it's practically just another pure stock XP. Despite the privacy flap that we ran into earlier, I'd still eyeball a OnePlus, as a review unit if I could. Certainly if the hardware stood up. I'd like to try the software outright. I don't know how much I'd still trust it. That'd still make me a little nervous. But I'm looking for a fluid software experience that I've been missing for quite some time. I haven't had. I feel I haven't had a fluid software experience for at least 5 years. iOS, may recover and it may not, but I'm tired of waiting around for them to do things in a better way. I feel like if I pursue a path with the Pixel, at least Google understands that software is a critical component. Doesn't mean it's perfect. I've run into issues and shortcomings that some may be mitigated with speed, or at least improvements in processing power, which happens every year. So what's nice is that if Android improves as hardware improves, what that tells me is that today's Android experience on the Pixel is going to be even better next year. And I haven't even tried the first gen Pixel, and I thought the Nexus 6P did okay for the most part. A lot of the jank that I run into though on the Pixel, or I'm sorry, on the Nexus 6P, I've run into on the Pixel as well. I mean, some apps just aren't, they're just not written very well, even by Google. Just because Google writes everything, their own software doesn't mean these pieces of software are amazingly optimized. They need either more RAM, or they need a faster CPU, or the entire platform needs to be architected such that other things don't get in the way in terms of performance. Speeding Sheena says, your talk now, Chris, makes me wonder why you never jumped on the Pixel bandwagon a year ago. I wanted to get a Pixel. I leaned towards it, and I was like, I just bought the iPhones, and I don't know. I mean, it's just brand new, and is Google going to support it? Are they going to be keeping it around for a while? I'm like, I mean, it's neat at a distance, but there wasn't, enough pushing me that direction. And it's not that I wasn't tired of iOS at that point. It's just that I don't know if I think I could have done it last year. I probably could have, but it wasn't the right timing. The reason why I think it's the right timing this year is because of all. I will tell you, everybody out there is pretty much the reason why. Because of the engagement that we had with the iPhone 8. So it wasn't that I wasn't disappointed with iOS before then. I was. But then in seeing what the iPhone 10 was going to be, like the future of Apple, I'm like, why are they doing this? And then, of course, everybody started paying attention again. I'm like, why are they doing this? I don't get it. Like, I barely understand why they're doing what they're doing with iOS, and now they're making it worse by putting this up. I'm like, oh, man. I can't. I think they've gone overboard, like, in terms of, believing in their own hype. Like, it's egregiously bad. I can't do it. I can't keep wanting that, and even in trying these things side by side, it's just these small things that Google has improved upon that can be polished, can be made better over time. It's just a second. It's a stark contrast. These two things are in stark contrast with one another. And I don't know of any other way of effectively putting it. It's the thing that I may miss in the interim is specifically the battery pack that I've had. Maybe not even the size of the battery, but specifically the battery pack. Battery life may be a thing for me again. It hasn't been for the past year or so. But again, the moment cases don't have battery packs. The older ones, or for the iPhones, they have them. I wish they did have a battery pack and make the decision a hell of a lot easier than they are. What about EV Launcher? Never heard of it. Aftership or Slice? Haven't heard of Slice. Aftership is free, so I'm happy with that. I think I saw Slice, but the icon was like, it looks kind of janky. Like, I'll judge an app based on its icon. So let me go ahead and start winding down. I am going to move on with everything. My battery is now at 15%. It's been slowly, going down. 4% used by the Android system. Apps. Let's see here. Can I see which app used the most? I think I can, actually. If I go into... Yeah, there we go. So, apps used... Oh, Pixel Launcher. Pixel Launcher used 18%. That's insane. Battery usage is approximated and can change based on usage. Yeah. Used for an hour, the Pixel Launcher. While in background, active for 0 minutes. Battery usage, 18%. So see what may help me judge which launcher I go with. So like I can do with adaptive brightness, sleep, ambient display. The ambient display does increase battery usage, but I like seeing the clock there. So let me go ahead and turn on battery saver mode. Turns off animations and all that stuff at 15%. I'm going to see how far I can get now that I'm at battery saver mode. I don't think I'm going to be able to record the podcast on that phone today, but I am going to record the podcast over at twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo, which is where you can go to sub to me as well. Join the Discord chat that way, or you can become a patron of mine at patreon.com/Chris Pirillo to join the Discord chat. It's easy to do. Geek out 24/7 with me, not just when I'm doing video. I love you. I appreciate you. But at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. May the Force be with you.